I was listening to this presentation by Sequoia Capital. One of the best advice that I can give anyone listening to this is, even when you become successful, your number one job as a founder, as a CEO, is to source insights and to always be 10 steps ahead of your competition, okay? As an example, today the business did, I don't know, maybe like, I will actually check. Let me actually check, because I don't know how much cash collected we're at today. But if you look at today's revenue, I don't know if you guys can focus on it, but the business did around $34,000 in cash today, right? But my job today as a founder was to sit down in front of my computer and listen to a presentation by Sequoia Capital talking about AI. My goal with today's video is to actually give you guys a summary of the insights that are covered in the webinar, okay? It's 3 hours. I don't expect everyone to finish it. It's pretty long, but I'd also like to finish today's video by also announcing the AI incubator that we just launched in gs.io, which is our entry program. Because it's not what I was doing in the basement when I was still living at home that's gonna make sure that my business is still around in 2025 and in 2030. It's what I am doing today and what I'm learning today and who I'm becoming as a CEO today that will guarantee future success, okay? So the fact that you guys are even watching this video means that you guys actually are on the right path, right? But I was listening to this presentation and the guy did such an amazing job explaining the opportunity, or at least the hypothesis that Sequoia Capital has around this AI revolution, that I actually want to throw it in right now.
A lot of times we try to reason by analogy when we see something new. And in this case, the best analogy that we can come up with, which is imperfect for a million reasons, but still useful, is the cloud transition. Over the last 20 years or so, that was a major tectonic shift in the technology landscape that led to new business models, new applications, new ways for people to interact with technology. And if we go back to some of the early days of that cloud transition, this is circa about 2010, the entire pie, the entire global TAM for software was about 350 billion, of which this tiny slice, just $6 billion, is cloud software. Fast forward to last year, the TAM has grown from about 350 to 650, but that slice has become 400 billion of revenue. That's a 40% CAGR over 15 years. That's massive growth. Now, if we're going to reason by analogy, cloud was replacing software with software. Because of what I mentioned about the ability to interact in a human-like capability, one of the big opportunities for AI is to replace services with software. And if that's the TAM that we're going after, the starting point is not hundreds of billions. The starting point is possibly tens of trillions. And so you can really dream about what this has a chance to become. And we would posit, and this is a hypothesis, as everything we say today will be, we would posit that we are standing at the precipice of the single greatest value creation opportunity mankind has ever known.
When he said that we're standing at the precipice of the single biggest value creation opportunity mankind has ever known, I got excited. Now, for me, what I want to help you guys understand is why that's the case. Like he said, if you compare it to cloud was replacing software with software. But now with AI, we're going to be able to replace not just software, but services. And as you know, the TAM of services is infinitely bigger than software, okay? Now, why is that the case? How is it possible for us to replace services? Well, there's really two reasons. The first one is because now AI can create. If you think of Sora that OpenAI just released, it can create videos. You can think of ChatGPT. They're all generative AI, okay? But the second thing is now AI can now reason. Not only can it create, it can reason. If you combine those two things, you end up having the same process as the way humans think, okay? And if you can reason and create just like humans can, well, you can replace, technically, humans. That's why this current shift that we're going through is probably one of the biggest, it's the biggest wave. And to even prove this point, Wyatt, who's in our program, who's one of our partners, he's 16 years old, just made $50,000 in a single week. At 16 years old, guys. Do you know how hard it is to make $50,000, forget $50,000 a week. Do you know how hard it is to scale past $50,000 a month? It is insanely hard. Try to do it with an offer like Facebook ad or appointment setting or building funnels. You probably won't, right? I know people who've spent the last decade running agencies who've yet to make $50,000 a month, okay? And he just did it. We have another partner in GCP who just booked a call with $1 billion HVAC company who's interested in implementing this AI infrastructure that our partners are selling, right? Now, the main reasons why they're able to make this, be able to book calls with $1 billion firms, make 50 grand a week at 16 years old, is also simply because this rule of supply and demand. Right now, there's way more demand than there is supply. So the people who can supply, who have access to these infrastructures that actually perform, are tiny compared to the amount of demand that there is for this software or for this tool, okay? So therefore, they get to command as much as they want. If they want to charge 10 grand for it, if they want to charge 30 grand for it, they can, because where else are you going to get it from, right? So that's one of the most important things for you guys to understand. Right now is probably the best time to get in before supply becomes infinitely greater than the demand. Like we've seen it with Facebook ad, like we've seen it with UGC. Oh, actually, I just saw an AI tool that does UGC videos. If I was in e-com personally, I would go and integrate this AI tool with every single brand and, in my opinion, replace all the UGC creators. Because in my opinion, they've gotten lazy and they charge ridiculous amounts of money just because they have followers who don't even engage with their content. But that's a tangent. I don't want to go over that. Now, because of all these wins that our partners are seeing in GCP, we've actually decided to launch an AI incubator, primarily because we want to attract more founders who can get into the game, look for insights, find other tools that they can implement, build, and release into companies, okay? Now, what do you get in this AI incubator? We're releasing it into our entry program, which is gs.io. It's completely separate from our main offer, which is GCP. The goal with this AI incubator is to allow every single founder who's interested in getting into this AI trend to fast track their success. ClientAcquisition.io's job is to take data, assets, that are being leveraged by our partners in GCP, dump it into the AI incubator so you can leverage the niches, the offers, the video sales letters that are converting and creating conviction into prospects before they book sales calls, giving you the lead gen systems, giving you the appointment setting systems, and our sales process and the sales scripts we're using to sell these AI infrastructures. If you have all this data and assets, you can go from never having sold an infrastructure to being able to sell your first infrastructure in less than 7 days. We launched the incubator 3 days ago, and we already have people who are launching their campaigns, getting leads, getting appointments, getting on calls with brick and mortar businesses, med spas, and who are interested in installing this AI dialer into their businesses. But the biggest value proposition in this AI incubator is not the client acquisition infrastructure. The biggest value proposition is the fact that you get access to a fulfillment partner. One of the things that most people don't understand is that to access these AI infrastructure that actually perform cost a lot of money. The AI infrastructure that our partners in GCP are implementing cost $100,000 to license. Not everyone has 100 grand to be able to license. So what we've done with this AI incubator is every single person in this incubator gets access to a fulfillment partner. You launch your client acquisition infrastructure, they fulfill for you, give you access to this AI infrastructure so you can go out there and sell as many as you can, eventually be able to go and buy your own licensing deal, okay? If you sell enough of these AI infrastructures, you will raise enough money where you get to build your own operations. But for now, our job is to make it easier for you to get into the game of selling AI infrastructures by giving you access to a fulfillment partner when it comes to this AI infrastructure. As Grant Cardone said, spectators pay, players get paid. If you're tired of being a spectator and you want to jump into the arena and participate and contribute into the single biggest value creation opportunity mankind has ever known, then I'd like to offer you the opportunity to join our AI incubator, primarily because I need you to have the impact that I want to have. My goal is to have as many smart, genius founders who have as many insights and who have access to as many AI infrastructures so that we can partner together and go into one vertical at a time and dominate every single vertical. But in order for me to do that, I need amazing, talented founders. And that's why I created this AI incubator. It's infinitely cheaper than our partnership program, where you have to spend 25 grand to be able to even work with us, on top of giving us your a percentage as you grow. And I believe it's the greatest opportunity for anyone who's looking to get started and have an easier time, have an effortless time scaling an offer online. Forget about starting service businesses. Forget about becoming an appointment setter. Forget about becoming a closer. Forget about all these commodity skills, guys. Let's go build and release AI infrastructures. Now, you have access to the AI incubator, just launched 3 days ago. You can click the link below, book a walkthrough session, learn about the AI incubator, and if it makes sense, then we would be honored to welcome you in the incubator and help you launch, scale. Once you're making 30 grand, 50 grand a month, I will work with you one-on-one to partner with you and take it to $250,000, $500,000 a month, even $1 million a month if you aren't afraid of work. Love you. Bye-bye.